have our guest well seated, and today is not any different. On Spring Delight this day, we turn our focus to a crucial conversation. Yes, agriculture revolution in Nigeria and Osun State. Our guest is Mr. Bolaji. Yes, our guest today is Mr. Bolaji Jegede, who is the group CEO of Eternity Stone Group, a visionary leader who has become a beacon of hope for agriculture transformation. Yes, in Nigeria and Osun State. Through his organization, Eternity Stone Limited, Mr. Jegede recently convened a 3-day National Food Security Summit, making significant contributions to the discourse on food sustainability in Nigeria and across Africa. Join us this morning as we explore his insight, vision, and passion for driving the future of agriculture in Nigeria, all put together. Mr. Bolaji, it's good to have you this morning.
Thank you very much. It's good to be here.
Yes, I mean, you're a regular here. You're not very new anymore. But the truth is, every time you come here, there's something big coming from Eternity Stone Group. So once again, good morning. It feels good to have you.
Good morning.
Yes.
And good morning to your viewers all over the world.
Yes. So let's talk about what brought about, can you share with us what led into this journey into agriculture business all put together? So should we call it agribusiness?
Yeah,
yes. What brought about?
agribusiness.
Yes. Let's talk about it like that.
So basically, as an entrepreneur, you're always looking out for where the opportunities are.
Fair enough.
And where they lie. My big background is actually in the oil and gas industry.
Okay.
But because I'm also someone who is interested in national development, and I realized that Nigeria, sitting on so much arable land, but we still struggle to buy food, to feed ourselves,
right.
food, expensive food. And I said, that's a problem that we have to find a way to solve, both as a business and for national development. So the zeal to create jobs through agriculture, the zeal to help the country to become prosperous through agriculture, to maximize its potentials, is what drives the interest, particularly in agriculture. And especially because when you look at youth unemployment, you discover that agriculture has the potential to get millions of youths gainfully employed. So those are kind of motivations for agribusiness.
I'm first to ask, what exactly is that vision behind Eternity Stone Group, and how did it evolve into a key player of the agricultural sector?
Okay, so the Eternity Stone Group,
I mean, entrepreneurship, agriculture.
Well, like I said earlier on, I started entrepreneurship while I was in second year in the University of Lagos. That's about 22 years ago now. And so I've tried out quite a number of businesses, along the line. And so basically what brought about the Eternity Stone Group is my desire to build a conglomerate that will be the largest in the world by the year 2035.
So help you God.
And that's what makes us to diversify into different business areas, oil and gas, management consulting, environmental services, agriculture, tractor assembly, and also fabrication of equipment. So the desire to be able to show that something indigenous can actually grow into a world-class brand and become the biggest by 2025 is what drives the vision behind Eternity Stone Group.
That is just beautiful. I mean, I picked something that you said it's been 22 years. That is like over 2 decades. Hey, are you still sitting down there? The truth is, it doesn't just start in a day. Okay, many describe you as a beacon of hope for agricultural transformation. And I mean, people are looking up to you already. I mean, you're an household name. How do you see your role in this revolution?
So I think that Nigeria has got to a crossroad where citizens need to brace up and do a lot of things for ourselves. We've shouted government for a long time.
That's right.
The government has their role to play. They're not doing the best they can, unfortunately. and we cannot fold our hands at the same time waiting for government. So that's why, as an individual and as a leader, whose interest it is to ensure that Nigeria has its pride of place in the community of nations. That's why I said to myself, all the things we've been doing, we have to look into agriculture also, because I do not see any reason why Nigeria, with the amount of arable land that we have, should not be a net exporter of agricultural products.
Fair enough.
And so I decided to venture into that and see how we could create an ecosystem around the entire agricultural value chain that could benefit the young people, that could benefit Nigerians. I mean, there are millions of Nigerians into agriculture.
Fair enough.
And we had to look at what we could do. I had to go to China and talk to manufacturers of tractors, and we will be setting up a tractor assembly plant. It's already begun, which will be coming on stream next year. And we have that fabrication facility also, where we're going to be assembling and fabricating all manner of agricultural equipment that will help the young people and help farmers. So essentially, there is a need to really expedite action on food security. We're having a lot of problems now in the agricultural space. There is the issue of these terrorists that are hindering people in the north from going to the farm. We have other problems like climate change that is also limiting productivity. And so what I'm doing is to look at the entire value chain of agriculture in Nigeria and see how we can strengthen the system and work with stakeholders essentially to really build an agricultural ecosystem that works for the country and that works for every citizen.
I feel like calling you like Babon Agbe right now, in the sense that, I mean, a lot needs to be learned from Mr. Bolaji Jegede. But then let us understand the concept of the agricultural revolution itself. Okay. So, I mean, when we talk about agricultural revolution, what exactly does it mean? In what context are we speaking about in Nigeria of today?
So when you look at the agricultural revolution that we're talking about, I mean, it's not just coming out in isolation. Okay. It's one of the 8 strategies that I wrote in my Vision 2035, Make Osun Great for All, which is a vision to transform Osun State into a economic pillar in Africa by the year 2035. And also, I'm writing that in my book called Vision 2050, The Nigerian Dream. So agriculture is a key strategic initiative across the visions that I'm writing for the country. And so when we talk about the agricultural revolution, basically, we're talking about the fact that we have to step up our agricultural game from subsistence agriculture to large-scale agriculture, and that is actually driven by mechanization. Okay. We have millions. We have more than 10 million farmers in Nigeria, and 80% to 85% are still very smallholder farmers. Fair enough. Who hold just 1 acre to 5 acres. I mean, small farms like that, and they're still using. Many of them are still using hoes and cutlass. Yes, right. And that is the reason why we cannot produce enough, because the only way we can produce a lot of food is to mechanize agriculture. Okay. Nigeria has a huge shortfall of tractors. I think the current research says that there are about just 30,000 active tractors in Nigeria, and we need about 1 million. That's not wow. We need about 1 million tractors to be able to at least sensibly mechanize. So, and that is why we are going into the tractor assembly, such that people can have access to the tools they need. So we are currently able to put together handheld tractors in Nigeria now, and the plants that will build where we assemble the bigger tractors is also ongoing at the moment. And so the revolution has to come across the entire value chain. So from the farmers, where we are going to be working with stakeholders to be able to mechanize agriculture on a very rapid scale in Nigeria, to the people in the between, who are the processors. So before I leave the farmers, apart from mechanization, which will help them be able to do more, We have to also introduce new strains of crops that have better yield and will better yield and also reduce time. We're also going to be looking into different technologies like hydrophobic or is it called hydroponic now agriculture, where you use less water. That technology actually helps you to use 75% less water than you would use by traditional. So the revolution will have to be around the entire value chain. So when you now go into the processors, what we're trying to do in the very short term to medium term is to create what is called agricultural hubs. So we can create that around Osun State, around Southwest, different all the parts of Nigeria. So that agricultural ecosystem allows for movement of goods and services within the agricultural value chain, and so the farmer is able to harvest and then take it to the hub. There are people in the hub who are processors. They would immediately have access to the raw material. They need to process those things into the finished product. And of course, the other leg of it is the sales of the product. So there are other people who will be dealing with sales. I mean, so it presents a huge ecosystem wherein young people can easily fit into the system.
Young people,
whether the upstream side of it, which is the planting and harvesting, to the midstream of it, which is the processing, and to the very downstream of it, which is sales and marketing. So that in itself can create about maybe 2 million jobs a year in Nigeria, based on the way we are planning it. And so that's what the revolution is really about. It's about productivity. It's about increasing the yield. It's about creating jobs. It's about building a strong nation. It's about building Nigeria of our dreams. It's about building Nigeria where young people are no longer interested in traveling abroad, but want to stay back home because the opportunities are now limitless. That's what the revolution is about.
It means like agriculture made them interesting, you know. But what about, I mean, from what she said, what about accessibility and sustainability of those machines? I mean, we all know like most of these farmers they are not the youths, actually, majority of them. So, I mean, and most of them are not even like well read and all. So how does this come into play?
Okay, so already as we speak, we've put together training programs for operators of equipment, for training programs into fabrication of equipment, training programs in welding, training programs across the entire value chain. We have created training programs for that. We understand the fact that young people aren't interested in agriculture because of the fact that it's laborious and they feel it's dirty. That was true in the past. But from what we're trying to do now, so when you mechanize agriculture, it becomes very interesting. So people don't, no young person these days will want to go and take a cutlass and stressing themselves. Young people are very chilled people, and they want it soft. And we're going to give it soft, So when we have all our motorized tractors, hand tillers, power tillers, these are things that a young person can put his headset on, listen to music, and just pushing your tractor, and you find that in 1 hour you've already done 5 acres. So that makes it very easy. There are concepts around what we call greenhouses. That it's a very neat way to do agriculture. It's very cool. And what we seek to do is to make it attractive again to young people.
Nice, okay.
And across both planting, fish farming, pig farming, and all of that, it can be made attractive, and that's what we will seek to do, because the young people are the ones who have the energy to do this. We just need to show them that how can they make money in all of this, and then they'll be fine. Nigerian youths are extremely talented. The Nigerian youth is extremely industrious. The Nigerian youth they're ready to do something really new. They're ready to do something great. If they know they're going to make money, they will do it. If they know it's going to be interesting, they will do it.
Definitely.
And we're going to create that platform for young people in Nigeria.
I just called it agriculture made easy. I mean, you heard that. It's not just going to be for some set of persons alone. The youth can also come together and start enjoying farming. I mean, food business is actually it should be like the in thing right now. That is what Mr. Bolaji Jegede is here to preach to us. Now, Mr. Bolaji, what are the major challenges currently facing agriculture, and how can we overcome them?
Okay, so when you look at agriculture today, I think one big thing is what I said earlier on, the fact that we are under mechanized.
Okay.
So we have very limited tractors working. Most of the farmers are still using hoes and cutlasses and all of that. That's very limiting factor, because that limits the production, how much we can really produce. So that's one big problem. Another big problem is the fact that farmers don't have access to the funding they need. And this is a very big problem. And sometimes when they do have access to it, the monies come at a time when it's not useful for them anymore.
Why is that?
This sometimes has to do with the bureaucracy within the banking system.
Okay.
When they apply for these loans, the farmers have seasons, and there's a time they must plant.
Yeah. Okay.
So when they apply for monies in some of the banks, and the money is coming 3 months after, but it's coming at a time when even when they need it has already passed. And that's the complaint, because we work with a lot of farmers and farming communities, and that's the complaint. The complaint is very general, and that's a very huge problem. If they can't get access to funds as when they need it, it's a problem. Also, we have a lot of wastage in produce. That's a very huge problem, because statistics show currently that about 50% of the crops actually get spoiled before they get to the market. From the farm, between the farm and the market, there's a lot of wastage, really occasioned by the fact that...
What happens in there?
So what happens is that the fact that the roads are not good. So accessibility, access between the farm and the market, bad roads, really sometimes you have trailers of tomatoes will fall down, and that's all.
Okay.
They're damaged. Sometimes when you're moving a perishable good from the farm to the market, and sometimes you're in traffic for 1 day, 2 days, those things are already spoiled. And so, because we don't have what is called a cold chain storage system, and this is the kind of thing that can help you preserve perishable products. And when you have these cold chain systems around the country, farmers are able to leverage on those kind of ecosystems to preserve what they are doing. So those are big problems that we have. Lack of fund at the time they need it. Another thing is the seasonal rainfall. Most of the farmers in Nigeria still depend on rainfall. And we know that from what is called climate change now. The seasons rainfall, it's no longer the way it used to be. It's no longer predictable. So we need what is called irrigation systems.
Okay.
I think there's a little bit of that in the north, but in the south, you barely find any of that. So we need to be able to build irrigation systems, and that helps farmers to plant all year round. And that's the key part of the revolution that we're talking about, being able to work with irrigation farming, creating the irrigation infrastructure that farmers could use. This is something that the government has to step in, as well as private sector investment. But if the private sector is sufficiently motivated by government, they can put their money in there and help the farmers to be able to create irrigation systems. We, as an organization, we've already partnered with some companies that will be providing us with those irrigation systems. And we believe that with the support, government, stakeholders, we can really create an agricultural ecosystem that works. And Nigeria can be a net exporter of products.
Do you really think technology and innovation can really transform traditional farming practices here in Nigeria?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're talking about anything revolution now, it has to be technologically driven. So when we talk about tractors are technology, and that's why you need to really be able to plant a lot of things. We talked about this greenhouse farming. It's some sort of technology. We talked about the hydroponic agriculture now, it's called. It's technology. So we talk about these power tillers that we're talking about. It's all technology. And technology has to drive it. Technology has to be at the base of what we're trying to do. That's the only way you can really scale. That's the way you can really do some amazing stuff, because even when you have produced and processors have transformed it, you still need to use technology to market it.
That's right.
Yeah, right. Because at the end of the day, at every segment of the value chain, there must be a embedded technology to drive it.
That's right.
Technology helps you to scale. It helps you to produce more. it actually increases your productivity and increases your earning power. So technology has to drive it.
Yes, technology it is. And of course, I mean, we're in the time whereby technology is just about taking over. And from what Mr. Bolaji Jegede said, I mean, this is just about that time when youth just need to step up their game. You know, agriculture itself is not meant for some set of persons. I mean, we can even do much more better. I was very much interested when he said, I mean, you can actually be working with your tractor, you've got your headset on, and you're already working on acres of land. Isn't that interesting? Okay, let us go on this short break, and when we get back, Mr. Bolaji Jegede is still well seated in the studio with us this morning.
Agency of Nigeria, SMEDAN. He also noted that having been overhauled, the facility is now operational with an array of machine tools that can assemble products like cassava pressing machine, grinding machine, wheelbarrow, gas cooker stoves, tractors, among others.
I feel that this summit is very important to look at all the problems that we have in the agricultural value chain and provide solutions to them. In that facility, which you have joined us to see, we have equipment, all manner of fabrication equipment there. We're able to fabricate almost anything across all industries. Not only are we going to be fabricating agricultural equipment in that facility, we are able to cater to the oil and gas industry. We're able to cater also to pharmaceuticals, all industries at all. So out of that facility that you have seen there, will be coming out all kinds of equipment that the farmers will be needing in Nigeria, which is going to be starting next year, somewhere in Ede.
Mr. Jegede also called for collaboration from stakeholders while emphasizing the need for mechanizing the agricultural sector to boost local manufacturing.
It is my hope that by the year 2035, Nigeria can be self-sufficient and a net exporter of food to all over the world. The array of equipment we have here is second to none, and we believe that this will bring about development not just in the agricultural sector, but indeed all other sectors in Nigeria.
The representative of SMEDAN Director General, Mr. Eson, says the agency will continue to support businesses to promote food security in Nigeria.
Already the setup that has been put up with this summit has a high level of collaboration with SMEDAN, and SMEDAN as an agency will continue to work with other stakeholder agencies, other BMOs, and the general public to give this kind of summit and its initiatives the desired visibility.
The three-day event, which continues tomorrow, served as a platform to showcase local manufacturing capacity and align stakeholders on the path towards national food security. Toby Sanusi, Western Spring Television News.
Yes, it is still Spring Delight on Western Spring Television, and we had to go on that short break. I mean, aside the musical break, we had to witness the facility tour of, the facility store. Yes, whereby stuffs have been fabricated, product machines actually that can be used by farmers. I mean, looking there on our report, you could see what did they call it? Mr. Bolaji, what do they call that? We call it a raw normally, like when they're using grinding.
Pepper grinding machine.
Pepper grinding machine. That was there. We had the gas. I mean, it was fabricated right there. These blocks, molds, right? Oh my goodness. I mean, Mr. Bolaji is indeed taking us through a different revolution all entirely. I mean, and you could see like people were there, personalities were there to just witness what's happening right there. And it's right here, happening here in the state of Osogbo. So Eternity Stone recently hosted a 3-day National Food Security Summit. Yes, it was beautiful. There is no doubt about that. And the turnout was very, very massive. I mean, the time I actually went there, I was wowed, Mr. Bolaji, because having us do all that there at home is like having these things in-house, and it's a beautiful feeling. Now, let me ask you this. What were the outcomes of the resolutions from the event, actually? What happened during the event?
Okay, so the 3-day National Food Security Summit that we just concluded essentially aimed to be able to harvest all the current challenges that is faced by people in the entire agriculture ecosystem in Nigeria, and be able to come up with what we call a working group to be able to look into those problems and be able to solve it. And that's what we have been able to achieve in this last 3 days. We've been able to, we are still currently cataloging all the issues that have been raised by all the participants across the entire value chain, and we will be able to come up with a detailed report of what the challenges are in the agricultural value chain system in Nigeria and what are the possible solutions. Thereafter, we are going to be able to then form what's called a focus group, where we will now work with the key stakeholders, government, policymakers, farmers, processors, all the stakeholders will then be able to come up with a strategy for bringing about that long-term revolution. And it was beautiful to see that government at all levels, federal, state, were present, or either sent representatives, delegates, and it was maybe probably we had almost 40 people that spoke over that 3 days from all over the country, and we are excited about the challenges that we have been able to identify and the solutions that have been proffered both by the participants and the speakers. We are now going to be able to move to the next level where we are able to translate those things that we have put together into reality, because what we are seeking to do is to not allow this to be another talk show, but actually result-oriented conversations.
Yeah.
This actually is a yearly event. This is the second edition, and we believe that by the next edition, which is November next year, we will be able to showcase what we have done based on what we have put together this year. Over the next 1 year, we'll be able to showcase how we have moved agriculture forward in Nigeria. And it's exciting. The farmers were there. They were really excited that something new, something more genuine is happening already. And we already not just bring it together, we already pledged some funding to them already as an organization to support the farmers. And we are going to be doing a lot to ensure that what we have discussed comes to fruition. And that's why we are investing as an organization. You saw the facility that we give people a tour of our facility here in Osogbo, the fabrication facility. Not only are we producing those equipment that are needed, trainings are going to be happening in that facility. We have capacity to train maybe about 1,000 youths in a year across different things in the industry, and a second factory is going on also that we're starting next year for the tractor assembly.
So help us God.
It's about 10 to 20 times bigger than this one.
Okay.
That again will create more jobs, we create more training opportunities, we create more dynamism in the agricultural value chain in Nigeria.
Yeah, I mean, looking at every of the machines that you got there, you got we call it Aero is a popular, but the grinder, but the locals they call it that. Okay, how long did it take in putting all those together, and how consistent can it be? What makes that production very proactive?
Okay, so when you look at all those things that we have built, because we just started production maybe 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
And so when we build all those equipment, they don't take more than a day to do, 2 days. I mean, so they don't take quite some time. So long as we have the professionals on ground,
okay, we
have power, we have the order of people let's say, for example, people place an order that we should manufacture 500
grinding
machines. I mean, we can be done with that in 3 days.
Wow.
Maybe maximum a week.
You see, this is just really beautiful to hear, and I'm sure it's beautiful for you to watch, our dear viewers, because whatever it is that you need right now, I mean, if grinding machines can be fabricated there at the store, a whole lot of other stores can just come out from that space. And honestly, this is indeed a revolution. So now tell me, for you putting down that this particular summit for this year, were there challenges along the line? Were there support along the line? I really want to hear you speak about that.
So basically there were challenges. Putting together an event of that magnitude is quite expensive, very expensive. And we wrote to several organizations to sponsor. And it was quite painful a little bit because not one sponsor came through for us. Not one sponsor came through for us. But the show had to go on.
Yes.
So we did all the investments ourselves. I mean, for me, there's nothing too much for national development.
Fair enough. I totally agree with you.
There's nothing too much to help Nigeria to get to where it should be. And that's why I'm in Nigeria, you know. All my brothers are in America and they don't understand why I would choose to stay in Nigeria. And I always tell people,
dedicated to a cause.
I always tell people, well, I would tell my brother, I said, well, I don't have an American dream. The only dream I have is a Nigerian dream. So I'm not going anywhere. When we organized this program last year, we lost a lot of money. But it didn't stop us from going again this year. And this year again, all the sponsors, none of them came through. The show was a massive success. We still keep investing. We will do it again next year and the year after and the year after. I believe in Nigeria. I believe that the Nigerian dream is possible.
Definitely.
And that's why I'm writing Vision 2050, the Nigerian dream.
Mr. Bolaji, how can private sector initiative complement government policies to boost food production and distribution?
Okay, so for the agricultural value chain to thrive the way it should thrive, it has to be a private sector, public sector collaboration. And the government needs to be able to come up with policy that will ensure that when people go to the farm, they're able to sell their produce, they're able to gain and make money from what they're doing. You know, we've always had all these policy flip-flops over the years, and that does not help businesses. It does not help investments to come in because no investor wants to put his money into what is not stable.
Fair enough.
You know, so I remember when there was President Goodluck Jonathan, and he came up with this cassava into bread kind of initiative.
Yeah.
And some people invested their money thinking that, okay, there's something to key into that. The moment he lost elections, that was the end of it. So there's a need for a long-term strategy in agriculture in Nigeria that is very focused. The penchant for governments to come abandon what was done by the predecessor or just because you want to do your own thing, so they know I'm the one that did it. It creates unnecessary turbulence in the minds of investors. I mean, investors don't like uncertainty. The businesses don't like uncertainties. And that's why you don't have so many people that are putting their money into agriculture because the margins are really tight. And if there are no policies that can ensure that people will invest and make some decent amount of money, you will not get so many people putting their money in there. People would rather put their money where they can get large margins.
Yes, right.
So we must be able to have policies that will ensure that people can make money if they put their money in agriculture.
Honestly, I'm actually concerned. I'm curious. Let me say that. I mean, looking at the fabrication store, there was turnout, definitely. I'm sure people were impressed. Even the delegates that came around were very impressed. Now, speaking about machinists, I mean, at some point you're going to need like a lot of them. So how do you hope to, push our youth into being interested in, getting to know what it feels like and getting to learn or train them in that space?
Okay, so although it's not quite organized pretty much in Nigeria, but we have Nigerians that know how to use all these machines. Some people have one or two machines that they use in their small shops here and there. Many young people have learned, all this apprenticeship. Like people that we have now, who have been apprentices for many years, and then they know all these things already. Ours is then to just help them to put their mind in a place where you can now work in a very professional setting, not just in that one corner beside the road kind of work. So we have access to a number of people who already know how to operate those kind of stuff. We just give them more training. We are sending some of them to China next year.
Oh, beautiful.
For training in tractor assembly, in tractor diagnostics, in machining and things like that. They'll be going to China. And we also, because we have a training academy, So training will be a huge part of the things that we're going to be doing going forward. So young people can actually be well trained. Some people are going to be getting trainings in computer-aided design. So because all this equipment that you see that we manufacture are designed on the system, and then we translate what we have done on the system into reality. So the training goes beyond just how to operate the machines. It goes into the design. How do you design? So some people are trained in the designing. Some are trained in the operation of the machines. Some are going to be trained in tractor assembly and diagnostics, and some are going to be trained in the business of it. Yeah, because so not everybody going to be a machinist, or some people are going to sell to the business of it. So we have a training program on the entrepreneurship aspect of it. So it's going to be a huge thing that is going to be really coming on stream fully January next year.
So help us God. So let me throw this at you. How can Osun State put together, really tap into this agricultural potential right now? What do you expect?
Well, I mean, so Osun State is sitting on a huge potential. The fact that what we are doing is headquarters here in Osogbo, Osun State, and we're going to be expanding across the state and to other parts of the country.
So be God.
It's a huge opportunity for the states to tap into it. We, of course, are going to be bringing in young people in Osun State to do a lot of training for them. But there's a limit to what a private organization can do. Government has bigger possibilities to partner and expand what we're doing. So we are hopeful that the Osun State government will work with us. The governor sent his delegates to the conference. Okay. The wife of the governor sent a delegate to the conference. So we are the commissioner for our commerce sent a delegate. So we have a relationship with the government already. We are just hopeful that they will see what we expect them to see, and we collaborate more and put their money where their mouth is. The state still brought in about 100 or so tractors from China, I think last year, maybe early this year. That's something that we can build here in Osun State now. And if we get the kind of support we need from the state, the federal government, I think we can do amazing stuff. We have a relationship with them now. We're talking to them. We hope they will do the right thing.
That's right.
And if not, we'll still get what we want to do. We'll get it done.
It goes on and on. Mr. Bolaji, it's been really nice having that conversation with you. I mean, that fabrication store was just a place to be. All right, Mr. Bolaji is not gone yet. We still have little closing remarks to get from him. Having this long conversation with Bolaji Jegede, the CEO of Eternity Stone Group. And in the course of the week, he had a 3-day summit whereby a lot of persons got to visit the facility store, whereby they fabricate a lot of machines. And honestly, it is beautiful. I mean, this is an agricultural revolution that I kind of believe that everyone, not just the private sectors, even the government should key and buy into this. Trust me, it is like a new Nigeria. Okay, Mr. Bolaji, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
That's this 3-day summit of yours. How did it make you feel as an individual, as the facilitator of it?
I think it makes me feel really proud of what we have done, myself and my team. I'm very excited because the people turned out in the numbers, the farmers, the processors, key stakeholders were there, and it just makes me feel good that what we're trying to engender in agriculture ecosystem in Nigeria is really starting out really well. Away from the fact that we didn't get any support, the fact that we were able to pull it off, and it was a massive success globally, because people have been calling me from all over the world that we saw what you are doing and it's amazing. That alone gives me a lot of joy. The people turned out, speakers turned out, policymakers turned out. That's very good. I'm excited about that.
Well, definitely you should. I call him the Govdo. I do call you that. Okay, if you could share one message with policymakers right now, and the Nigerian youth about agriculture, what would that be?
So I think my message to policymakers is to look inward and let's make policies for the long term. For the politicians, we need to really begin to have office holders who have real long-term plan for agriculture in Nigeria, and we need to be able to put together a comprehensive agricultural revolution program that can be sacrosanct, such that when people come in and out of government, they don't just throw it away. We can have a true long-term plan, Vision 2050 plan for agriculture in Nigeria, and then we can work towards a better Nigeria. And for the youths, they should be rest assured that agriculture is going to be interesting again.
Yes, right.
Agriculture is going to be mechanized now. Agriculture is going to be money spinning now, and we can drive the youthful energy into productive work in agriculture. That's what the revolution is about, and we encourage the youth to join us and follow us as we take them on this interesting ride of agricultural revolution in Nigeria.
Yeah, agricultural revolution, and it's about that time when the youth are actually supposed to stand up and really do take over. Mr. Bolaji, it's been really nice having this conversation with you. So now, what's next for Eternity Stone Group? I mean, we had the 1.0, we had the 2.0. So what next? And your contribution to food security in Africa all put together.
So there's a lot that is next for us.
Okay.
In the immediate is to ensure that we harvest all that we have discussed during this summit and put it to work.
As in talk and do, right?
Yeah, so we have talked about it and we're going to get it done. Already we have that fabrication facility up and running. And our next year is to ensure that our tractor assembly plant comes on stream, thereby creating more jobs, maybe about 100 direct jobs and about 2,500 indirect jobs that we create. And we think that, and that's just through us, but by the time we're now working with the ecosystem, it will probably generating about 1 million jobs in a year going forward. So we're excited about the future. We're excited about what God has helped us to begin. And we're excited because we believe that we'll be able to get the support we need at the state level, federal government level, across the whole country to drive the agricultural revolution. So we're really excited for the future. Big things are going to be coming in, and bigger things will also follow.
I say big amen to that. Definitely, we've been having a conversation with the CEO of Eternity Stone Group. And honestly, you need to visit the fabrication facility. It is actually a place to be. I mean, you just have this machine in your mind and boom, it's just out there in front of you. You know, it's being created, fabricated. It's a beautiful one. Trust me, I kind of feel like every person watching this right now should key into this. I hope Mr. Bolaji's social media handles is right there on our TV screens. Yes, and it's been a beautiful. Thank you so much, Mr. Bolaji, for coming.
Thank you very much.
And I'm very, very sure we're still going to see more of you because the work never ends with Mr. Bolaji. Alrighty, it is still Spring Delight, and we are almost done for the day. But of course, it is not over until it is over. So let us go on a short break. We're going to be having our spring fact. It is a fact that guide us in our day-to-day life. And of course, we have our fruit report. Today, we're going to be looking at the fruit, cherry. We're going to be right back. This particular morning, hey, I hope you had a good time too. The truth is, you just got to key into what is right for you. The youth should be ready to take over because time, they say, waits for no man. Yes, I hope you kept up with us today. It was very enlightening for me, and I hope it was for you too. And I pray to God that we're going to see one another. I'm going to see your face. You're going to see mine same time next week. My name is Ajibike. I'm Jorin Ojo. And up until then, may God keep us all safe and alive. Have a beautiful weekend. God bless you.